Welcome to the new ChapterSkip studio.
Looks a lot like the old one, Sean.
Well, it's the same basic design, but I've kitted it all out inside.
Nice.
What do you reckon, Joe?
Has it got a kettle?
Yeah.
I'll go stick us a brew on then.
Goes! Ah! Sean, what's with all this stuff hanging from the ceiling?
Well, it's feng shui, isn't it? It's meant to bring you good luck, good fortune, and hopefully some subscribers.
Yeah, that would be nice, but I mean, you know feng shui's a load of old rubbish, right? Come on, let's take it down.
What happened to Joe earlier? Is he alright?
I don't know, I think he just needed a wee.
Okay. Hello and welcome to ChapterSkip. I'm Sean.
And I'm Mark, and we're bringing you movie reviews with a twist.
And today we're going to take a look at The Conjuring. The Conjuring is an American horror thriller flick that is directed by James Wan. The Malaysian-born Aussie director is probably most known for creating that freaky puppet in the first Saw film. He also wrote and directed Saw, so James Wan knows a thing or two about a thing or two. His previous movies include Dead Silence, Death Sentence, Insidious, and the forthcoming Insidious Chapter 2.
In similar territory to Insidious, The Conjuring is a classic haunted house story, but it also claims to be based on a true story. Of course, how much you believe that is entirely up to you, although personally, whenever I see a haunted house or alien abduction movie that's supposedly based on a true story, I can't help but call bullshit.
Hello, most haunted ghost hunter. Yeah, it's Joe from ChapterSkip. I think we need your help. I think this shed's possessed. What? Not Derek Acora. We need someone competent, not a bloody fraudster. Oh, so there's no such thing as a real medium or clairvoyant? So it's all just a load of crock? Typical.
Anyhow, let's take a look at the plot. So the story is about the Perron family, which consists of Carolyn and Roger, who are played by Lili Taylor and Ron Livingston. They have 5 children and a dog called Sadie.
The new farmhouse they've just spent all of their life savings on comes with more than just the usual spiders and mice that are living in there. As it turns out, all manner of ghosts are haunting the place, and one of them in particular is very, very unpleasant. That one is in fact a demon, witch, ghost thing that's called Bathsheba.
As soon as the clock strikes 3:07 AM on the first night, all kinds of creepy things start to occur. There's banging, leg pulling, funky smells and bruising. Although that's kind of normal for a husband and wife that want to christen the house, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Although unfortunately for the parents, this doesn't happen just the first night, it keeps happening every night until they have to call in Derek Acora. However, since he tried to channel Michael Jackson's spirit back in 2009, obviously with no luck, he's nowhere to be seen. So they call in the next best thing.
And that's the Warren family, who consist of Ed and Lorraine, who are played by the brilliant Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga.
At this point, you're probably thinking, well, if it keeps happening night after night, why not get the hell out of the house and go camping or something?
Well, unfortunately, the demons are the really clingy type that aren't attached to the house, they're actually attached to the family, so wherever the family goes, the demon follows.
Actually, let's just sidetrack a moment and go back to the whole true story aspect of the film. First of all, for those that don't know, both Ed and Lorraine Warren in real life were actual paranormal investigators, with Ed being a demonologist and Lorraine claiming to be clairvoyant. They both investigated supposed real life hauntings and possessions, most famously being that of the Amityville Horror. But they also claimed that they exorcised someone who was possessed by a werewolf demon that made them go around and bite people. So make of that what you will.
Right, back to the plot. Ed and Lorraine discover that the house and the land were cursed by the witch Bathsheba, who tried to sacrifice her children to the devil, but then hung herself from a tree in the garden.
This demon bitch gets her hands on Carolyn and does the old possession trick on her. And in a similar vein to Bathsheba, Carolyn tries to sacrifice one of her own children. Now at this point, there's only one person that can save the possessed mother of 5, and that's a priest, who refuses to exorcise the spirits because the family hasn't been baptised.
I bet if it was a young choir boy that was possessed by the demon, the priest would have his hands all over him in a heartbeat. Anyway, Pope bashing aside, the task of that exorcism is down to Ed, who whips out his cross and gets under the sheets and makes Carolyn nice and wet.
Yeah, you might want to think about rewording that, Sean.
It's alright. I would have made a child molestation joke. How's this any worse? Sheba? Sheba. Sheba.
I'll just... Oh.
Hey Joe, do you fancy playing a game of hide and clap?
Is that like hide and seek?
Essentially.
Okay, then why not?
Excellent. Come over here then. We'll pop the blindfold on you and we're good to go. Oh, turn around. And scoot down. I can't reach that high. Oh, get his hands on. There. Can you see anything?
No.
Right, Mark and I will go and hide, then you have to count to 10, we'll clap our hands, then you have to come find us, alright?
Okay then, sounds fun. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I know what you guys are up to, I know where you are. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ready or not, here I come, guys.
Now, when I saw the trailer for the movie, I must admit I was pretty underwhelmed by it all, as it just looked like another seen it all before paranormal activity type thing. But as there seemed to be a bit of positive buzz surrounding the film, and the fact that it's set in the 70s, kind of piqued my interest, and so I decided to give it a shot.
I thought the cast and the acting was great, and there wasn't an abundance of over-the-top CGI moments, and everything felt quite real, or at least as real as you can be when you claim to be a paranormal investigator with a psychic wife. The only real criticism that I would have for the film would be the originality. The story on the whole was decent and interesting, however, it felt very familiar, and that was the major downfall for this horror flick.
On the plus side, however, there's a fantastic score in there that really fitted the whole feel of the movie, and interestingly enough, composer Joseph Bichera also played the role of evil witch demon ghost Bathsheba.
Also, some of the camera movements and perspectives made for a really interesting watch, and James Wan did really well in bringing tension to the whole film, with the help of the score we mentioned previously. I wasn't personally scared by this film, although there were points that I was mildly freaked out, so I can see where some of the people that are less predisposed to thriller films would jump right out of their skin. I think The Conjuring was probably aimed more at that audience and not the ones familiar with horror and thriller films, because those types of people, which I guess could include you and I, could guess every attempt at a jump scare and saw certain things coming a mile away. So if you're a horror nerd looking for something unique and surprising, unfortunately this movie is not for you. However, if you're someone looking for a decent, well-made movie that grips you with good visuals, great scoring and a decent plot, then this might be the film for you.
Guys!
Now I thought the film was okay. That's about it really. It was watchable, but nothing that makes me want to rush out and buy the DVD once it's released. Now for me, the main problem was it just didn't feel scary, and it was a case of seen it all before. Sure, go ahead and give it a cheap matinee viewing or whatever, just don't expect to see anything new. Unless of course this is your first time with this sort of movie, in which case, go ahead, I'm sure you'll have a blast. Although for me, all it did was remind me of other haunted house movies, and once it was finished, I was ready to go home and watch Poltergeist, which, let's face it, is a better film.
Hey Mark, do you know there's supposed to be a remake of that next year?
Try not to think about it.
Thanks for watching this film review for The Conjuring. Now, Mark and Sean weren't scared by this movie, but plenty of people were. Are you one of them? Let us know in the comments section below. You can also leave any feedback or thoughts on our Facebook wall. You can like the page whilst you're there too. All the social media links are in the video description. And finally, please subscribe to ChapterSkip for more movie reviews. With a twist. Thanks.
And a dog called Sadie.
The new Harmhouse.
Who are played by Lili Taylor and Ron. They have 5 children and a dog called Sadie.
Now I thought the film was okay. That was about it really. It's watchable, but nothing that makes me want to... But nothing.
I thought the cast and acting was great, and there wasn't an abundance of over-the-top...